everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So the market is not doing great things right now, and when we look at the numbers week to week, we are seeing very soft sales. So looking at what happened last week, Georgetown only had 5 sales again. That is so low. That is like December numbers. So that is not great news for sellers on the market right now. We also had 13 new listings, so lots of inventory coming on. It's still softer than it was, but that's still a big gap between the listings selling and new listings hitting the market. In Acton this week, we had 3 sales and 1 new listing. Glen Williams saw 1 sale, 1 new listing, and the rural market saw 1 sale and 5 new listings. So we are far outpacing our listings to sales, which means inventory is going to climb. Last week, I was talking about how our upper price points are actually the stuff moving right now, and that remained the same this week. Only 3 of our 10 properties that sold were under $1 million. So things are like dead in the lower price point under $1 million, which is crazy. It's usually the opposite, but that is not happening right now. So we are starting to see inventory pile on under $1 million. And there are some really awesome properties right now, but buyers are just not pulling the trigger. When we look at properties that terminated and relisted, we had 29 properties. Notable was that 22 of them relisted at a lower price. That is a lot of movement downward. That again doesn't include properties that just reduce their price. Most people now, our strategy is if we are going to reduce the price, you terminate and relist. So 22 properties did that last week. 7 properties did come off the market, which is good, but it definitely did not help our overall inventory staying at bay with how many new properties we saw compared to sales. So all of this stuff is not great for sellers in this market right now. So overall inventory is up from 282 to 289 this week in Halton Hills. We are pushing near that 300, which I really thought we weren't going to hit. But if our sales don't pick up, we could be in a situation here where we do hit that 300 again. We've kind of been at bay because properties have been coming off the market, but that wasn't as much of a story this week. Looking at Georgetown, it is up from 166 to 170 active listings. We did see a lot of shifts in our price point that support what I was talking about earlier. So under 800,000 climbed from 25 to 31 active listings, and 800 to $1 million climbed from 49 to 51. So we saw those pockets climbing in inventory because virtually nothing is selling there. 1 to 1.5 million dropped from 74 to 69, again supporting that million plus being the pocket that's moving, and 1.5 million plus went up slightly from 18 to 19 active listings. So really interesting to see that all that low stuff is not moving. It is, if you are a first-time home buyer, it is such a good time to be buying a house right now. We know this market is not going to stay here forever, and where prices are right now is unreal. And I think that it is just a really good time to be looking at picking up a property because you can get some awesome stuff for under like $850, $800, and it's just a really good time. These numbers are definitely in your favor. And like I said, no buyers are really pulling the trigger. So sellers are a lot more eager to work with buyers because they are not seeing a ton of offers coming in. Even though showings are not crazy low, we are just not seeing a lot of buyers willing to offer on properties right now. Acton this week is down slightly from 39 to 38, but that still feels very saturated there. Glen Williams is down slightly from 12 to 11 because of a termination there, but still sitting relatively high in the Glen, but price points are pretty high there. The rural market is up from 65 to 70 active listings. We have a ton of properties available in the rural market. This is the market I would say that really sucks to be on the market if you're a seller right now. Virtually no movement. We're seeing 1 sale-ish a week. So you have 70 properties and we're seeing 1 sale a week. It's not great. Prices are going to be softening. I think October's numbers are going to be horrific in terms of sales unless something really turns around. We did see quite a few properties. I think it was 7 properties in Halton Hills update as sold conditional yesterday from the weekend. So I mean, that's good that we have a bunch of stuff in the sold conditional status, but we are just not seeing strong sales numbers given how much inventory we have. So overall, this market is really great for buyers and not great for sellers. And I don't think anything is gonna shift dramatically until the new year. Until we see that mass exodus that we usually see in December, I don't think any of these numbers are gonna dramatically shift. Again, as a buyer, this kind of market will not stay here forever. We have been sitting in it for a while, you know, kind of that fallout from the craziness of the last few years, but it's not going to be here forever. And there are so many houses. Like you can pick up a house for, like you can pick up a condo townhouse in Stuart McLaren in like the low 5s. I think there's one at $499 right now. Like these are numbers we have not seen in like 5-6 years. Like don't sleep on this, because when it bounces back, we know how high it can go. So we'll just have to see what happens, but October is not looking great for sellers. If you are a seller and you get an offer, you got to work with that offer, because who knows when you get the next one. But I will be back next week to see if anything shifts for the back half of October. Have a great week, everyone.